What's up, guys? Welcome back to SoberTube, a non-anonymous addiction series based on recovery and teaching people how to get sober. And it's not that difficult, man. If you are sick and suffering from the disease of addiction, or if a family member or loved one is suffering from the disease of addiction, we can recover. Today's episode is about my anniversary. Yesterday, I celebrated 8 years without a drink or a drug in my system, and I don't suffer from the disease of addiction anymore. I can't believe it. I haven't used in 8 years. How did I do that? So, after tons of detoxes or rehabs, inpatients, outpatients, homeless, everybody in my family mad at me, could no longer afford to be an addict, and couldn't figure out any more scams, after I went to a detox and rehab and tried to do my own program called Brian Anonymous, failing miserably, going back to another rehab and waking up after a few days in detox and being like, holy cow. What am I doing back in rehab? What am I doing back in here? I can't even get a run in anymore. I can't even have fun anymore. This addiction is killing me. And I got to a point of ultimate desperation where I was just like, yo, get me better. What do I got to do? I spent the first year in recovery just focusing on myself, focusing on learning about me and my addiction, focusing on why I use, and focusing on the 12 steps. I took every single suggestion that I hated. I made coffee for people I didn't like. I took commitments and meetings I wasn't even really into. I got a sponsor. My sponsor was this guy who annoyed me every week. He was just like, you got to get a sponsor, man. If you don't get a sponsor, it ain't going to work. I'm like, dude, what's the deal? Leave me alone. I did a whole bunch of things that I didn't think were going to work, and they changed my entire life. The first year, I lived with my mom. My second year, I lived with a junkie, and I was like, God, why did you put me in this place with a junkie? How do I not get high with this guy? But my program of recovery and the 12 steps and my commitment to every single recovery-based meeting that I was involved in, and all the chairing and rehabs and all my involvement, kept me sober. I didn't even want a drug. The 12 steps remove the desire to use drugs and alcohol, which is crazy. Can you believe that? I just said that. I no longer have the desire to use drugs and alcohol. I got my career back, I got my family back, I got my life back. I no longer hang out with people that are sick and suffering unless they want help. That means I pick and choose who I chill with. If you are using drugs, you're not going to be in my social circle unless you want to recover from addiction. What's up? That's a good idea. Pick your friends wisely. And 8 years later, I can honestly tell you that the last 8 years that I spent sober have been better than the 12 years that I spent using drugs and alcohol. I don't miss drugs. I don't think about drugs. For anybody that did the drugs that I do, it's crazy. I don't think about getting high. I don't miss the situations that I used to be in. I don't miss being a criminal. I love the life that I have, and this life has attracted some cool friends and some cool people in my circles and some really interesting situations, working with lawyers and politicians. I'm like, you guys are hanging out with me? You know what I used to do? The gifts of the program, I wish I could list them all, but there's not enough battery in my camera to list the amount of gifts that I've received from this program. I got 8 years sober, and it wasn't that hard. I did the 12 steps. 12 things got me sober. How many things did you use to get high? I used to do 100 different things to get high, and it only took me 12 steps to get sober. Are you willing to do 12 things to change your life forever? Are you sick and tired of the life that you've been living as an addict, in pain? Do you believe that I got sober? Because if I can do it, you can do it. I celebrated 8 years, and I'm so proud, and I really do believe in recovery. How hard will you work to change your life? My name is Brian. Thank you for coming to SoberTube. Please like and subscribe if you want to get as much info as you can, raw and not in a church basement, live here on YouTube about sobriety, man. I am not anonymous. I want to tell you guys all, I'm an addict that is recovered, and I'm proud. I'm not ashamed of who I was. So get involved in your recovery, and I will see you on the next episode of SoberTube.